What's up, guys? My name is Dressy Jay, here representing my clothing line, Pothead Apparel University. Catch me at the Sales and Jingle Bells on December 3rd, where I'll be showcasing everything I have to offer, which includes hats, hoodies, shirts, pants, shoes, shorts, anything you can name. Pothead Apparel University will be there.
Radio show, man, they everywhere.
Я скрутился бе потом, я выдыхаю
Best jam I have ever eaten.
Oh, wow.
I have that as a testimonial.
Не играй со мной свою роль. Со мной молодые братья. Мы возьмем котлеты наличных себе на завтрак. Сегодня-завтра, неважно как я. You, эй, yeah.
Alright, y'all, tuned in for another episode of Big Dot Radio Show. I am your host, Andreas, and we're here at the Red Room again. I guess one day it'll be green or whatever, I don't know. But we have Jay, who has Pothead Apparel University.
Yes.
See, I remembered. Thank you for coming through. Definitely dope. I like this. Yeah, well, we're gonna have more clothes for y'all to be able to view and stuff like that. But let's jump into it. What got you started in the apparel business?
So I wanted to start in high school actually with just any type of clothing line because I was just into making my own statement with clothes anyways. So back in high school I couldn't afford to like really get the resources like I wanted, so I just put it to rest during then, and I started up back in 2019 is when I was able to afford everything because I had jobs or whatever.
Was it the beginning of 2019 or? Okay, so you're getting it going and you're launching it. Now imagine this is your first business.
Yes.
So how was the reception and to your peers and your network when you was putting it out there? Were they gravitating towards it, or a little off-putting to them?
People was telling me that they like it, but as far as buying it, it's slow. That was a really slow start. Okay,
so when did people start like buying it?
I want to say the beginning of last year.
Okay, I'm sorry, what year is this? 2022?
Yeah.
So 2021, okay, so you had basically 2 years of promoting it and getting people accustomed to it, and then they started buying it.
And getting my images together and all that, and my website, and just making sure I have enough resources to get started.
Yeah, because you don't want to create more demand than, than what you have on hand, and people get mad at you and all that stuff, because, you only get the, one time for a first impression, that's it.
Right.
So what have, let's go into this. So how did you pick, your designs and come up with the concepts?
Oh, that's a long story. Okay.
You give me the abbreviated version, it's fine.
Well, of course, I am a pothead, and there's been a movement that's been popularized lately, and so, where do I start? That's a hard start.
So basically, you feel like you're selling to the consumers who have the same lifestyle as you?
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's like potheads and stuff like that, and anyone who's not turned off by weed and all that stuff, whatever.
Well.
Exactly, supporters. That's what's up, because that needs representation. I don't think there's enough, but that's just me personally. So as you're cultivating your sales and stuff, who's supporting you at that time? Is it friends and stuff, or strangers, or where's your support coming from?
Friends and strangers, actually.
Okay.
My biggest supporter is actually my girlfriend.
Okay.
She's more of a word of mouth person, so she just goes around and showing people the website and letting them know, what's up. And me, I'm more kind of introverted when it comes to people, so I just sit there and sit on my phone all day and just inbox people all day. The link, just send them the link.
I imagine that's easy for you to do.
Yeah, that's a lot easier. I don't have to really.
Yeah, but when it comes to expanding your business, you got jump out there. One, because I don't know if you know, but like businesses, especially small businesses, the consumers connect to the person. It's not necessarily what you're offering.
Right.
Those days of like the 1940, 50 way of doing business and everything are dead. So it's more about the connection and buying into you and seeing you as a personality. This is actually is this your first interview?
Yes.
Okay. I'm like, you fine. You're doing good.
Thank you.
But this is a big first step for you.
Right, and that's why I wanted to get into this business club, because it's like part of getting out of my comfort zone as well. And I'm 26. I can't be in a bubble.
No, you can't. I just got through talking to the Pen and Porch owner down in Warner Robins. I just came from Warner Robins, did an interview down there, and I'm like, it's the same age group. She's getting out of her comfort zones. First time her doing a business with her mom and being able to do tattoos and all that stuff. And I see where, that's needed to be pushed more.
Yeah. Because
I'm sure as you were starting the business is the easiest part. Even though I know that some people it seems like a daunting task, but it's to someone who's experienced and stuff like that. Starting a business is easy. It's pushing the business that really is the challenging part, and getting out of your comfort zone. Like, I wasn't like a videographer over a year ago or whatever, until I had get pushed into the corner where I had to shoot my own videos.
Right.
I used to outsource and everything, but then schedules and all that stuff started going haywire. So I was like, I had to continue pushing the product or whatever, which is some of the interviews and all the other stuff that I do. And now I'm in love with it. Like, I shoot like different content and stuff like that. So do you do anything besides like inboxing people like, hey, I got this dope design, what I'm saying, I think it'd be good for you. Do you shoot like any content around your apparel, or do any brand ambassadors or anything like that?
Yeah, I do have like a few little TikTok videos I put together of like, say like these certain products that I do have on hand. I'll have like the online image, and then I'll switch it to me wearing it or somebody else wearing it. So far that's how I've been promoting it in a creative way that still says it's me. I've been trying to do the word of mouth thing as well with people. Like, people be like, yeah, I'll shop with you. I'll wait till I get paid.
Well, okay, so let me tell you about word of mouth. Word of mouth, and this is coming from this is my expert hat, right? Word of mouth is the best form of advertising as far as like talking about something, right? The thing about it is that we can't control when people are going to talk about it, and we can't control when they're going to react.
Right.
So they'll hear about it or whatever, which is cool, but then they have to keep hearing about it for it to like really start to resonate with them. And like once you walk away from a person, I'm like, you can come back to that person 3 hours later, they'll forget the conversation.
Right.
So
and that's one of the things I noticed, because like I said, I've been inboxing people, but I'll see like I've inboxed them back in February already. They didn't say nothing. I said I inboxed them back in May. They still didn't say nothing. I inboxed them again this month. They actually looked at it and clicked the link and actually bought something. Yeah. So I'm like, okay.
It's about consistency and repetition. Now that's a lot of work or whatever, and like I can tell you about some stuff off camera that you could do or whatever to help with that. Because at this particular point now, I imagine what you're looking for is you're looking for more sales and more sales, and to inbox people. I'm like, you got to go through hundreds or whatever to get to the people that actually respond to. So when you decided to do this, like what did the family and everybody think about you doing this venture?
I have no idea.
You didn't tell them, or you didn't get?
No.
Oh wow.
No.
So family don't even know that you're doing this?
Family know, but it's like it's promoting something that I know most of my family isn't really into, so I'm not even really.
Well, I can understand that or whatever. So, okay, I definitely get that or whatever, and I can see where probably like draw the line with some folks or whatever, but it's okay because they'll turn around once they like see you way out there or whatever. They'll turn around. They all give in. You just gotta be patient enough for them to be able to get to that point. And if you want to, embrace them back into the fold, embrace them back into the fold. If not, just kick them out. That's what I do anyway. So I'm like, because you said you got your girlfriend, you got a support system, and then you got your customers who are buying. So how do you decide like, what you're gonna put out, and do you go with like the seasons as well, or how are you applying that?
Well, yeah, I do go with the seasons. So I really started when it was during the springtime, and that's like my favorite season because it's really just t-shirt and shorts, and that's my favorite thing to wear. So I was just making coming up with a whole bunch of things that like I'm into, at the same time incorporating my logos. Like I love striped shirts. That's like something from like the 70s that started, just striped horizontal shirts. So I just incorporate that, throw a logo on it, whatever, and then I'll ask a few people like, hey, how does this look before I actually like push it out and put it onto the store.
So you do market research, which is great. So when people do buy, do you like collect that information and actually analyze it?
Yeah, it's just a really slow start for right now, so I can't really analyze too much information.
Yeah. Which I get, and as you keep doing this or whatever and keep going out your comfort zone, going on other podcasts and promoting and stuff like that and getting more sales, you'll start to see that information. So ideally, what would be like, how do you want your business to look? Like, whether it be like, ideally you want a storefront, or ideally, you just want like X amount of sales a month, or?
I think for right now, I just want to X amount of sales for right now. I notice a lot of people would rather me have things on hand. So I'm going to get into like trying to get that as well. Start getting things on. I thought doing online was like a smart idea.
Okay, so it's still a smart idea. It's just that online in Macon, go outside of Macon and push for those customers online. So anybody in the middle Georgia area or the state or whatever, international, if you ship international, or even regionally if you want to the southeast or whatever the case may be, do that online. But as far as inside of Macon, because Macon still is a culture, the city, the community has this concept of I want stuff to touch, and I need to be able to touch it in order to support. That's what I've learned in my experience with a lot of different stuff. And as long as you have something, it's tangible, they can touch it, and they can get access to it, they can come somewhere, whatever the case may be, they'll support it. They don't really like to go online and want to shop or whatever, because they will go to the destination, which, you learn your markets.
Right.
Not all markets do that though. And then especially online where, you're diving into, I guess, have you joined like, Facebook groups and stuff like that, or any other? Oh, okay, so yeah, there's a whole support system out there for you. You just got to access those people. Even with the style of clothing that you're doing, there's still a support system for that, because there's some other people who are doing it, and I'm sure you'll be able to find them and all that stuff, whatever. And it acts as an infrastructure for you to be able to push and collaborate and all that stuff. But yeah, I definitely would suggest, don't worry about pushing online inside of Macon. Do Middle Georgia, you can do Millersville and all that stuff or whatever. And then, like I said, outside of, actually, I would tell people, like, if you really want to make an impact with your business, focus on the smaller towns, because smaller town people still want to be able to be hip and cool and all that. They still want to be
the one that stands out.
They want to be able to stand out and all that. And bigger markets, and when people who operate in bigger markets don't even think about them, whatever, as far as an option of being a consumer. So they're limited to what they come across as far as the information and all that.
Right.
So I'm like, that's just me giving people free game, but people have to implement that. So what are you looking forward to doing? Like, do you set goals for like, the year or whatever, or what are you trying to accomplish by the end of the year?
By the end of the year, I just did the one goal. It's just, my main goal is to at least make $1,000.
Okay, that's what's up.
At least make $1,000 gross. I'm just, like $200 short now.
I'm like, you're there. I'm like, but you're almost there.
Yeah. Yeah, I just make little small goals. I don't try to do too much and stress myself out too much on it.
Yeah, don't do that. No, small goals are good because they lead to bigger goals. Some people start, oh, I want to do 50,000 or do 100,000. You don't even know what 10,000 look like. So
right, I already know that's too much. That's too much.
It's a lot. But are you enjoying the process of being like a business owner and all that? Like, you know, how are you, you know, inputting that information and taking that in and, you know, deciphering that?
It's weird because I went to school for business, but I never actually incorporated that information in my life until now. So it's like I'm actually reciprocating everything that I learned in school, and it's fun. It's fun to just do my own thing, create my own thing, and show it to people and be like, oh yeah, I like it. It's really dope. Like, because at first it was just me wearing other people's clothes, so now it's me wearing my own creations, and I don't know, it's fun.
That's what's up. So do you do pop-up shops and stuff like that right now, or have you gotten into that?
No, not yet. I don't have enough stuff on hand. I feel like I just want to get like a lot more stuff on hand first before I start actually doing things like that.
Okay, well, a word of a caution. I spoke to a young lady who bought like $4,000 worth of inventory, and she has to now try to sell it or whatever. So yeah, like get some stuff on hand, but don't go too far with it.
Right.
Like make sure there's a balance.
Right,
there.
and that's the first thing I thought of when I first, started this business. I didn't want to order too much and not have enough consumers to buy it, and I'm just sending a whole bunch of merchandise. I didn't want to do that.
Yeah. see, I'm like, you're already mapping this all out. So I'm like, you're already built for success. Because I've seen a lot of people like, just go the wrong way.
Yeah. That's why I'm glad I went to business school first. So
yeah.
I know a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm sure you'll be able to, as you'll read articles and stuff like that, or do you contact any other people who are in the apparel industry and try to pick their brain and stuff like that?
I just see it online.
Okay, so I'll send some people your way that you can hit up and stuff like that. I talked to people, and they might not even do the same style, but they work within the apparel industry, and like some of them got storefronts, some of them do online. So it'd be different people you can piggyback off, and I think that having a support system and like a sort of like a mentoring type of network will help as well. I've been trying to get a lot of retail owners to collaborate with one another as far as like once a month or something like that. Well, I would suggest once a month. Just shut down shop. Y'all go out for like 2-3 hours or whatever and just talk, lunch, whatever. Because what's going to happen in the conversation, y'all going to talk about the problems that you're experiencing, and then solutions are going to be made as well.
Right.
And then say if they have something that you don't have, or vice versa, and when customers come in and deal with, oh well, I don't have this particular thing, but you can go over to such and such, I know they have it.
Right.
And that builds this community. It's just getting people to understand that regardless, even if somebody else came up with saying like high material or whatever, apparel or whatever, it still doesn't mean that you're going to be competing for the same consumers. And on top of that, you still have your own individual styles within it. And then one customer might shop with both of y'all.
Right.
So yeah. I don't look at that whole crab in a barrel type mentality or whatever, because I'm like, it's enough for everybody.
Right. I mainly look at the other like apparel businesses that's a little bit smaller, that's not really popular, because it's a few of us like in my age group that has like apparel businesses, and it's a few that are already out there. So I try to support people like me, the underdogs. So I do have a few peers that are already in the industry and have resources that I don't have, and I'm trying to reach out to, and we can collaborate and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what's up. Have I met you before somewhere?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. I know what it is now.
We met a few years ago.
Okay, you and Gary was in the commercial.
Yeah.
See, I knew it. I'm sitting there looking at you. I'm like, why do I know your face from somewhere? And I was like, let me see.
Yeah,
so, yeah, that's what's up. So yeah, you got to do some more stuff like that.
Yeah, and that was me supporting somebody else. So now it's like me to get my own shine.
That's what's up. Wow. I'm just having this aha moment of like, is life is what 360 or 180, whatever they say. I don't know. They say a lot of stuff. Okay, so you're open to collaborations and stuff like that. What do you think those look like as far as collaborations?
What you mean?
Like, would you be open to like, okay, designing a particular, like, let's just go basic and say it's a shirt, right? And then having both brands on there, or, you know, somehow incorporating both brands or whatever and being sold and splitting the profit, blah, blah, blah. Stuff like that, or like, what does collaboration look like for you?
I haven't thought about that far yet. I feel like I gotta be a little bit bigger.
Well, I would say like stuff like that to me, I don't understand why people not doing it or whatever already. But you split the resources, so you're splitting the expenses that it takes to do something. You're both promoting and whatever, and then whichever vehicle is being used as the transaction or whatever. I'm like, you're being transparent to where, okay, we sold 100 units or whatever. This is your payout, whatever. This is mine. You get to write the expenses off on your taxes and all that, and it's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
Strategic partnerships excel and push you further than just trying to do something on your own. And that's why I be trying to get people to understand. But again, when people don't know how business works, it can seem like it's an intimidating process or the lack of knowledge, and it could be an insecurity thing as well. But I see stuff done like that all the time, and I've done stuff like that. So I'm like, because like I said, you share resources in context, and then you're building these relationships. So if you build your relationship the right way, I'm like, ain't no telling what that can blossom into. Did you used to model? So did you like stop doing that, or?
Yeah, I stopped doing that to focus on my own thing.
Okay, so it wasn't your passion?
Not really, no.
Oh, you just doing?
I was just supporting someone. Yeah, I was supporting someone.
Okay. Well, I get that. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to think. Let's see, what else we need to talk about? So what's one thing that has surprised you in just this process, right? Because you have almost 3 years worth of experience. What is the one thing that really sticks out to you that like surprised you as far as like jumping into the industry and learning, the industry, or just, you're doing your business?
Just actually doing it. Honestly, it took me 2 or 3 years because I was just stuck in my head, being scared of, not having any support. So the mental aspect of it is the biggest surprise to me.
Yeah. And
actually getting people to purchase.
Yeah.
Like my first sale, I was so happy. I was like, oh my gosh, people are actually giving me money for things. Like,
that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to give you money. But I definitely can see that and understand that. But it should also be motivation for like, you're doing something right. Because I tell people all the time, like sometimes as like when people work 9 to 5s and stuff like that, what they miss is that 9 to 5, you were a part of a system that was created. So it's easy to just get caught up in your own little world and not realize all the other components that it took to make the wheel go round. But when you're in your own business, you are that wheel.
Right.
So you have to, fill your roles and play those many hats or whatever to get the result that you want. And at the end of the day, it's all about making money and sales and, following your passion and being able to make a living from it. Okay, so what's one thing that you don't like about the industry or about business?
One thing I don't like about the industry. How expensive resources are. That's one thing I do not like.
Yeah, they're mad expensive.
That's probably the main thing because they makes it hard for some people to start.
Yeah. And I can see where, limited amount of income and not knowing how much it really takes to jump into an industry. Because you have to have barriers, right?
Right.
Because if anyone could do it, everyone could do it. And that's no value.
Right.
Just like, even starting a podcast and having equipment or whatever, or doing videography work or whatever the case may be, having a platform. I mean, that's thousands of dollars I've spent just on doing all this or whatever. I'm not going anywhere. So, but some people think it's easy. And it's not. It's supposed to be a barrier.
Right, and still have to maintain like your normal life at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Entrepreneurship is not for the weak.
It's not. It's not.
It is not. So what do you want from, the experience of doing this? Like, what do you want to achieve personally?
I really just want to make a statement, to be honest. That's yeah.
Changing culture, making a statement, being influential.
That's pretty much it.
That's what's up. Okay. So is there anything that we missed or left out? Anything you want to talk about?
Just go to the website www.phu.fun and take a look.
You said what?
PHAU.fun.
Oh, .fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
Right.
I have not seen a .fun.
Right. And I seen I was
look at that. So you gonna stand out.
Right.
Fun.
Right.
That's what's up.
I really like it. Just go. I just tell people to go to the website and stay tuned, because I'm always adding stuff, like just randomly adding stuff, because if it pops into my head, I just go ahead, go online, do the design, and just go from there. But also be on the lookout for things on hand as well. I'm gonna start doing it, because a lot of people are asking me. I'm already getting orders in, so.
Oh, you're taking pre-orders?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well I'm glad you're doing that.
Thank you.
That's how you, like, I tell people when you do pre-orders, you can actually fund your idea or whatever. A lot of people don't do that. I don't know why. Do pre-orders. People will pay and knowing that it's going to be sent to them in X amount of time. Now if you don't deliver, you're out of business. But as long as you deliver, you know what I'm saying, you gotta it's a resource. You shouldn't have to I gotta go work a job or do these particular jobs or whatever to get this X amount of money. No. Pre-orders. Pre-orders saves the game for a lot of stuff. So that's dope. I love the fact that you're doing that. Any social media that you have, handles and stuff for the business? Or?
Yes, I have Instagram. I love PHAU.
Okay.
There's no spaces.
Okay.
Social media, you can just reach my personal social media, because that's what I post on the most. That's Lene Wilson.
You gonna transfer that over to business?
I have a business page. Excuse me, but
okay. So let me just go ahead and give you this spiel, right? The only reason I say is transfer it over to business is because the bigger you get and everything, you don't want your personal decisions affecting your business. So now I'll give you an example. Diddy, Love, whatever he wants to call himself nowadays. When he stopped doing Bad Boy, there was no separation. So separate yourself from your business. Even though it's yours, you're still gonna get out of money and everything, pay yourself, whatever. Still separate it. Make it its own identity. That way, if you do something, then people won't even know it's connected to you, and therefore still support. You have some people out here who get so fanatical with their ideals and stuff like that, that if you do something they don't like or whatever, I ain't gonna support that person. Even though you have dope product and everything over here, and I guess dope using it as a pun, but still, you got product that look good and stuff, you know what I'm saying, and it appeals. They'll want to try to sabotage what you're trying to do or whatever. So yeah, definitely I suggest that with all business owners and stuff like that, regardless. Separate the identity of it. Let it be something different. And then that way, you know what I'm saying, you can continue to thrive. And then you'll be able to bring other people up under your wing and all that stuff and hire folks and all that. And I'm like, that'd be fantastic to be able to say you started from just designing and selling your merch, you know what I'm saying, like a masterpiece story. You're selling it out the back of your trunk or whatever, and then bam, I got this big old office, and not only do I retail, I got a retail spot, but I got my own manufacturing spot as well, and then I got a design studio up here, and got all these different people I'm employing. I mean, that's like the rags to riches story I like to hear and stuff like that, so, yeah.
Yeah, my beginning story is already deep. It's just, I don't think we have enough time for that.
But, also another point, put your story in your advertising. It don't have to be like the huge story, but pieces of it, like why you did it, where you've, how far you've come, and where you want to go. And if you include that, then people connect to it. And when they start connecting to it, they start sharing. Mm-hmm. And that's how stuff goes, gets viral and goes organically viral. Because as long as you show the connection, and again, if y'all want consultations, y'all need to hit me up. You show the connection, and it resonates with folks, the droves of them just start pouring in.
Right.
So share your story. Do that. So the Instagram and Facebook. So y'all heard it here. Got Jay with the Instagram, with the Facebook, and I'll put it down there for y'all. Y'all go and y'all follow, and y'all also go to the website and go ahead and buy like 12 pieces or so, and tell all your friends to buy some too. Appreciate everybody tuning in, and if you have not done so, go download the Baked Out Radio Show app and support and stars and all that stuff, and we'll catch you next time.
Наши руки, мы в поисках больших денег, мы в деле круглые сутки, Baked Out Radio Show, man, they everywhere.